Hey guys, Wow. So for today's video, I am a little more chill, a little more calm. I am walking you guys through my morning routine. The first part of the day, I don't really like to talk as much because I really enjoy just getting accustomed to the day and just doing everything that I need to be doing. I'm giving you a peek inside of a different side of my life. I feel like if you watch my Juilliard vlogs in the morning, I did these very crazy morning routines where I woke up at 5 o'clock and I meditated and I journaled and I said my letter of intention to the universe and to God and all of the things. And now since it's the summertime, the work doesn't stop. I've just really been obsessed with becoming him. And for those of you that don't get it, I can't explain it. Because if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm just really excited to continue this journey. Learning things, figuring out and healing myself, and really spending a lot of time with me. Yeah. Sorry I'm like smiling because I just feel like I'm really enjoying this time that I'm like doing this, and I feel like ever since I came back from New York, my inner child has been healing a lot, especially in New York. Like my inner child healed a lot. Like I got so emotional so many times just being surrounded by so many Black queer artists that were males and that looked like me. That was a lot of things that my younger self needed to see. And now that I'm back home and like I'm taking the things that I've learned and the things I already knew and putting them together and just becoming this human being that my younger self would have loved to see. It's just great. Like I needed to see someone that goes to Juilliard and vlogs their journey and that wakes up so early and works out and stretches and meditates and has a job and is just documenting their choreography journey and just continuing to reinvent themselves and become him, and to be young, you know, 19 and fit and just like gorgeous is something that's really great. I think I want to make this a series, like Becoming Him, the series. I want to make sure I learn the lesson and not go back in circles. And I really don't have time to be going in circles. I need to be continuing on the pathway to greatness because it's so very important. But yeah.
This bitch got me paying paper clips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold, you got me out here.
This book that I'm reading, Atomic Habits, I like to read a chapter a day. I feel like that just works best for me. I like taking notes now when I read. It wasn't something that I did before, but no, actually I'm lying. It was something that I did before. I used to take notes on my phone, but then I was like, I need this in a notebook. I like creating my notebooks like little books. Like they have a title and then they have like a table of contents. And then I put like the date and the chapter and the page. Today's chapter was how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. A few notes I wrote down is that a lot of people create habits. Well, they try to do things based on the outcomes. Like people try to lose weight. People want to save more money. People want to win a championship. Like those are outcome based habits that they want to form. And the book was talking about how you need to create identity based habits, and it clicked. It made so much sense. Build identity based habits. With this you focus on who you want to become, becoming him. Behind every system are a set of beliefs. Behavior incongruent with self will not last. It's one thing to say I'm the type of person who wants this. It's something different to say I'm the type of person who is this. So then I wrote down some identities that I identify with. I'm him. I'm an artist, I'm an athlete, I'm a creative, I'm a choreographer, I'm bougie, I'm real, and I'm inspirational. The book kind of creates a framework that's question-based, which I really enjoyed. I switched the questions that the book was asking just so I can relate it to myself. This is why I like writing things down, because I want to formulate it or write it down and take notes in a way that I can like register, or like it's a reminder for me to be like, oh, this is what I need to be doing. Would a TV series regular do this? Would a athlete do this? Would him do this? And I think it was a really interesting way to put it. The focus should always be on becoming him, not a particular outcome. And that is all the notes that I've written down. Let's talk. Like, I just feel like I don't really, well, most frequently I've been doing a lot of vlog-based content on my YouTube channel. I don't really have a lot of opportunities to sit and talk to you guys. So I want to take advantage of that now, especially since I want this to be a series, Becoming Him the series. So I think it's important to track progress of like where my mental state is, and my beliefs and my practices and my habits. I am currently in the phase of, I wouldn't say phase. No, I would say phase, because I don't expect to be in this mindset throughout my whole life. And the mindset that I'm talking about is detachment. Right now, I am focusing on detachment. And that word sounds like something that's negative, but it can really actually be healthy. A lot of people don't know that there's little things that can become coping mechanisms as you get older. I hope I said that right. Coping mechanisms. Yeah, that sounds right. And there was a time period last year where I had a very good friend group that were my support and were really just there for me when I needed them. And we went through a lot of things similarly in our senior year of college. I started to realize that every single time I went through something, I would call a certain friend or a certain group of friends in order to talk about it. And they would make me feel better because we all had the same experiences. We were all thinking the same, which is great, but it can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because if you have people that are constantly feeding you the same thoughts that you're already thinking, you're just using them for reassurance. You're not using them for growth. You're not using them for development. And I started to realize that, and I was like, oh, Jesus, it's time to take a detox. And so right now I'm in the phase of detachment, and also really recently I started to realize that I based a lot of my relationships off of potential. A younger version of myself always loved to think about the future. Like, that's really how I truly made it through those really rough childhood years. I would think about the future a lot, like the dancer I wanted to become, the way I wanted my body to look, the way I wanted my skin to look, the way I wanted to talk, the vocabulary that I wanted in my diction. I started to realize that I looked for those things, or I would hold on to people, experiences, objects based off of the potential they could hold. Like, if I found someone like me that was waking up early and journaling and praying and meditating, I was head over heels. Boop-a-boop-boop. What? I was head over heels. Especially when I found like a friend that was like, oh, we need to do this, we need to be on scholarships. Like, I head over heels, because now I'm thinking about the potential. Like, oh, friend, like now we focus on these scholarships. Now we can do this and we can go here. And for a while, I would say I was blinded by who they were presenting themselves to me as. Because it's one thing to have a passion, it's one thing to have a habit, but when you're getting to know someone, especially in the early stages, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot allow yourself to be so engulfed with their potential, because it will come back and bite you so bad. really bad. I'm accepting them from who they are, who they're presenting to me. There are certain things that you're gonna miss if you're just so focused on the things that they could be. Like, they could be this, and this is something we could be doing, instead of, okay, these are the habits, these are their passions, but who are they right now, and who are they trying to become, before I have an idea of who I think they're trying to become. Because their current actions will prove who they're trying to become, or really just where their mindset is. And it's a very, very, I wouldn't say lonely journey, because I feel like lonely has such a negative connotation around it, but I would say a very isolated journey. But you have to isolate in order to elevate. But yes, I'm really excited to continue this Becoming Him series. I wanted to take some time to share my notes from reading and just have some time to talk to you guys, so you know exactly like where my mental state is and just where I see myself going, and really just to keep track of the progress. But yeah.
I'm so cold, you got me out here. I've been taking on all this baggage, adding on so much weight, had me thinking that I was average.
I'm back from spending time with God. This is definitely something new to my morning routine. The biggest thing for me was really wanting to understand the word for myself. I'm a Black queer male that grew up in the south side of Atlanta. My upbringing has made my relationship to the church very interesting, and I personally, growing up, did not like going to church only because I felt targeted. I didn't think that I could have a relationship with him in the way that I do now, and I'm excited to see how much that grows. And I think that's beautiful, and it's been on my to-do list. I just didn't know really how to do it, and a part of me was really scared to do it just because of who I am as an individual, or like what people would think, or how I would even think of myself going through the things that I went through. Because a lot of times we go through things and we're like, how could God do this to me? Or like, how could God make me this way? And there was a lot of times when I was younger where I, quote unquote, tried to pray the gay away, and it didn't happen. And I'm glad that it didn't happen, because I'm beautiful, handsome, Black, and queer. And if you're mad about it, stay mad. I'm just excited to start the journey of learning and the process of healing, because there's a lot of things that I need to heal for myself, like in the church and just like with my beliefs and my practices and the way that I go through life. I know religion is a very touchy subject within my generation in this age, and also a very touchy subject within my sexuality. And this is what is working for me. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel ambitious and optimistic. And I don't want to press my religion onto anyone. This is what feels like I should be doing within my heart. And I encourage all of my viewers, all of my subscribers, all of my followers, supporters to do the exact same thing for them. Do what works best for you. Period. But if you don't mind, I would like to share some things that I read today. So I have the Holy Bible app, and at first I don't know if it like updated or something, but originally I had the app like a long time ago, like just because in church you have to have the app where like people like, oh, pull out the Bible app. But I didn't know that the app has plans. Like it has different plans that you can do, like based off of jealousy, based off of comparison, based off of like love and joy and happiness. And they have like 7-day plans, they have like 21-day plans, they have 6-month plans, yearly plans. I'm currently on 2 different plans right now. The first one that I'm on is Brick by Brick, Rebuilding What Matters, and then Break Free from Comparison, a 7-day devotional by Anna Light. This is from Break Free from Comparison. Let no one disqualify you, insisting on asceticism and worship of angels, going on in detail about visions puffed up without reason by his sinuous mind. Just like hearing that was really nice. Like, don't let anyone disqualify you, like, duh. And I just needed to hear that, so I wrote that down. 2 Peter 1 line 10, therefore brothers, be all the more diligent to confirm your calling and election, for if you practice these qualities you will never fail. And with that, I'm gonna continue my morning routine.
Acting like this ain't mean nothing to you, is you done? Frontin' like you numb, here got me gone. You're only about yourself. Wanna find somebody else, so but you lied to me, lied to me. You got me mental in the head. I've been taking on all this baggage, adding on so much weight. Had me thinking that I was average, when you really don't play.
So I just got finished journaling, and I'm gonna tell you what I journaled about. Today was my first day journaling in a very long time, only because in my personal journal, I don't really write down prompts. I kind of just reflect on the day and I give it a chapter. And as you can see, I've been very consistent since like January. And the last time I journaled was May the 14th. And it's July. So, I thought I was gonna do a very long journal entry because I knew what I wanted. I wrote down the name of the journal entry. I wanna say it was like in June or like right when we were getting out of school. I called it First Year Fulfilled. And I put a question mark. And I was just gonna evaluate my first year, how I was feeling, the things that I did, things that I didn't do, the experiences I experienced, what I learned, what I want to go into next year. And I really just sat there and I was like, first year fulfilled, question mark. I ate them up. In all seriousness, I feel like I did a great job in my first year. I had all these little different video shoots and photo shoots and castings and going viral on TikTok and then managing a YouTube channel and waking up at 5 o'clock every day, meditating, praying, stretching, manifesting. Then on top of that, you know, having a regular Juilliard schedule, which is already so intense, putting on performances throughout the year. Like, I ate it up. Yeah. And I'm grateful for the experiences that I've got to experience and just like how driven I was, like sending emails and like meeting my mentors and just going to all these different places. Like, I did Netflix premieres and just were introduced to so many different people. Because really reflecting here and sitting in this chair, I'm like, how the freak did I do all of that? And then I realized that as I was in the process, I was still thinking I could do more. That just shows me that, oh, the potential endless. The possibilities endless. Because just the way that my mind works is really crazy. I love looking crazy. That's the thing. I love looking crazy in the best way. I feel like a lot of, not even my peers, but just a lot of like my friends, a lot of people that watch my channel that really hear about the things that I do and watch me do them. They're like, Xavier, you're literally crazy. And I'm like, you know what? I am crazy. And I love being crazy because I just feel like if it was easy, everybody else would do it. And with that, I'm gonna end the video. I will see you guys next Saturday at 9 p.m. Bye, Zasters.
How you gonna grow it away? How you gonna sit and act like it was nothing? How you gonna grow it away? How you gonna think it's so damn hard to explain?